How's it going, family? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to bring to you another project that I believe will be essential to add to your crypto portfolio. Now, I want to be the first to say that anything that is mentioned on this video is not financial advice, and you should do your own research and your own due diligence. Now, with that being said, one of the things we constantly preach on this channel here at the Crypto Stream is setting yourself up to create generational wealth for you and your family. Now, in order to do that, you have to diversify your portfolio. Diversification doesn't necessarily mean that you have something against another crypto. Now, with that being said, if you take a look at the overall stock market, people always preach diversification, diversification, diversification. What essentially does diversification mean? Well, put simply, diversification just essentially means that you do not put all of your eggs in one basket. That way, when something is doing well and another crypto project is not doing so well, because they are different projects, by the way, then you still are seeing some returns on your investment, as opposed to having all of your eggs in one basket, where if the project succeeds, that's great. But if something happens and the project goes under, you've lost everything. Now, a lot of my viewers here on the crypto stream are Saitama Wolfpack family. So my message to you is to know that I am by no means whatsoever leaving the Wolfpack family. I am just simply helping you to diversify your portfolio by bringing to you other crypto projects that I feel are essential and that I feel that may very well help you reach that goal of creating generational wealth for you and your family. And guys, Lily Finance is one of those projects. Now, out of full disclosure, I have been an investor in Lillian Finance, which used to be called Lily Finance, since the day it launched. So I've been there through all the ups and downs. I seen the lunch that took place that was horrible. I was there. We're going to keep it 100 on this channel. But one of the things we have to get away from in crypto is putting feelings into our investments. Now, I've been watching Lillian Finance from the beginning when they launched way back at the beginning of this year. I believe it was around February timeframe, you know? And let's stop there because I want to put a pin there to say something else. Since a lot of my viewers here on the crypto stream are investors in Saitama, you know, you guys may have been aware that, hey, Lily was supposed to launch originally on Saitama way back under V1, right? And then Lily decided to pull the plug, walk away, go ahead and do their own thing. We've seen this sheet of music before. But the difference is Lillian Finance at the time was called Lillian. They, they made the decision to do so because of business. They had a lot of agreements in place with other business entities, a lot of things that were stacked up that were waiting on them to launch, and they were going to launch exclusively on Saitamask, right? They could not wait. They could no longer wait. After all, they are in the medical blockchain, or they are in the medical industry, and things in healthcare move very rapidly. So they had a lot of things in play. They were starting up their nonprofit foundation, which is called Lillian Bay Foundation, or the Lillian Foundation, and they were wanting to get those things done. Lives depended on it, to be quite frank, because they were doing a lot of surgeries for underprivileged children, things of that nature, that they had to keep moving along, and they simply could not wait for the delays that were occurring for Cytomass. Now, with that out of the way, I want to say this. Yes, there was some bad blood between, the Saitama Wolfpack family and some things that happened with Lily Finance. But I believe that we need to put that aside. And I believe that it may very well be advantageous or very influential for Saitama to embrace Lily Finance back into its fold, and Lily Finance to do the same. After all, we are all here to make money for our families. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and take you into Lily Finance. As we take a look at Lily Finance, now they changed their name to Lillian because of some issues, legal issues with Eli Lilly. A lot of you have heard of Eli Lilly, and the name Lily Finance was just too similar. And so Lily Finance agreed to just change their name to Lillian. But if you look at the Lillian Finance website, guys, it's a very nice website. And after all, they are in the healthcare space. They are looking and seeking to revolutionize the medical industry when it comes to medical blockchain or medical finance billing blockchain, that things of that nature, you know. And I want to pause here for a second because I know I may catch some heat from for talking about Lillian Finance simply because not that is not a good project, but because of what happened in the past. Guys, I want to just tell you this straightforward. There were some things that occurred in the Saitama Woodpack family under V1, such as a lot of promises that were not delivered. A lot of things that happened, a lot of delays that occurred as well. You know, Cytomask, a working product, was supposed to come out last year at the Cytomask event that occurred back in November, but it didn't happen. So if we're gonna be fair, guys, we have to be fair. We forgave the developers, and rightfully so. Our developers are one of the strongest group of people in the crypto space, I might say. They made some mistakes. They've learned from those mistakes. And ever since those mistakes, I've been happy with the developers for the most part on the bombs that they've been dropping and the utilities that they have been delivering to the Saitama Wolfpack family. So if we can understand that instance, why not let us be forgiving and understand the instance of Lily Finance? After all, they've stayed true to everything they said they had to do. They've shown us partnerships. They've done all of those things that they promised. And that's the reason why I want to bring this project to the Wolfpack family and tell you be forgiving, be understanding. It's your choice. But again, my goal here is to bring you legitimate projects that are up and coming that may very well be that next 100x, that next 1000x, that'll put you and your family closer to creating generational wealth. Now, let's continue. So, this is their website, lillianfinance.com. I'm going to read this. It says the next generation medical finance blockchain. Lillian identifies needs, opportunities, and problems in healthcare, then employs a next generation financing system to make change happen faster. From the lab bench to billing, from diagnostics to data management, Lillian launches and supports projects that break down the barriers to new knowledge and surmounts the siloing that too often makes care inefficient, ineffective, and inhuman. Now, if we go down here, we see how to buy it and all that good stuff. They got some NFTs and some swag out, things of that nature. And you can continue to go on in their projects. And here's their tokenomics. We're not going to dive into that. You can look at their website for more details on that. Now, why I am here talking about Lillian Finance, there were a lot of Saitama investors that invested because, hey, Lillian Finance, let's be frank, everyone knew about Lillian Finance on the backs of Saitama. The Saitama family is what made Lillian's reputation what it was and made that launch to be one of the most epic launches in crypto history. It was because of the clout and because of the shilling from the Saitama Wolfpack family. I want to put that out there because, like I said, we're going to be objective. We're not going to be biased. And I call it like I said, we keeping it 100, guys. So that should show you that I'm genuine in what I'm saying here. Saitama is the reason why Lillian Finance is where it is today. I'm going to say it. There you have it. That's the truth. Now, a lot of people experienced difficulties during the launch. A lot of people just didn't get the tokens that they thought they were supposed to get at launch. But I'm going to tell you this. Lillian Finance did the right thing. They actually what's the word I'm looking for? They actually reimbursed. That's the word I'm looking for. They actually reimbursed or gave the folks that faced this difficulty at lunch the amount of tokens that they were supposed to get. They did that. So I would argue to say that the developers, they righted their wrongs. So let's do the right thing, guys. Let's be objective with this thing. Now let's continue on. One of the things I wanted to show you guys about Lillian Finance is this. They recently just got approved for the 501c3 designation. Now, what is a 501c3 designation? Guys, that is something major. That is a major, major utility, I gotta say, for the Lillian Finance community, the Lillian Finance family. And the reason being is because Lillian Finance is in the business of healing. Lillian Finance is in the business of not only creating their own medical blockchain and not only disrupting what we see right now when it comes to healthcare and medical billing, they are also saving lives through their foundation by giving children, sweet babies, children, the needed surgeries that they need that may very well save their lives. That is another utility, guys, that you cannot put a number to. That is dealing with life. And whenever you deal with life, hey, you have my business because they're saving lives. That is more important than money can buy. Now, 501c3 designation. This was announced earlier, a couple of days ago on October 7th, and they put a picture here. I'm not going to read through this, but this is legal, guys. This is very authentic, and I validated it. It's the real deal. You can go to the IRS's website and you can type it in yourself. They have the number here. You can look it up to validate that yes, they did receive this designation. And so one of the things I wanted to mention about this is the fact that the same way we have Docs Devs on Saitama is the same way Lillian Finance has Docs Devs. Let's keep it 100, guys. So that's the same. Not only that, for them to get this designation, them meaning Lillian Finance to pull it off and get this designation, they had to disclose a lot of information, which means they are legal. If they wanted to scam somebody, they would have done it long ago. Lillian Finance has been out now for almost a year, coming this next February, January timeframe in terms of being launched. So they have stayed to their word. Everything they promised, they have delivered. So, guys, with that being objective, I have to cover this project because I want to bring you legitimate projects. And Lillian Finance seems to be a legitimate project. Now, let's continue on. What does it mean to be a 501c3 organization? Okay. This says being 501c3 means that a particular nonprofit organization has been approved by the Internal Revenue Service, which is a legal entity, guys. They don't play. That is Uncle Sammy. The Internal Revenue Service as a tax-exempt charitable organization. Charitable is broadly defined as being established for the purposes that are religious, educational, charitable, scientific, literary, testing for public safety, fostering or national or international amateur sports, or the prevention of cruelty to animals and children. There you have it, 501c3 organization. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you about Lillian Finance is this. You know that 501c3 designation that we talked about? This is allowing Lillian Finance to circumvent the processes or bypass the traditional requirements from top tier exchanges. Those requirements simply mean, when you get listed on top tier exchanges, let's say, for instance, Coinbase or crypto.com, things of that nature, most of the time you got to pony up a lot of money, several hundred, maybe 50,000 to 100, 300,000 if it's Binance, maybe even more, depending on how lucky Binance is feeling on that day. But in addition to ponying up a lot of money, you also have to have the investor base. You have to have, let's say, and I'm just spitballing here, guys, just for the purposes of conversation, but you got to have 100,000 investors in your project already. Got to have 200,000. 300,000. Binance is a lot of investors you got to already have bringing to the table to show Binance, hey, you are an established crypto project and that they should list your project. You have to convince them to list your project. But guys, this project, Lillian Finance, is doing so many epic things and so many wonderful things. They have a partnership with NASCAR. That's the first utility that came out, or not utility, or the first partnership that came out right after they launched their token back in February. These are facts, guys. You can go back out there. The information is out there. You can go and see it for yourself. But right after that, they started doing their first surgeries. That is evidence. It's evidence out there as well to back that up. So, like I said, guys, they are doing exactly what they promised the community that they would do. Now, one of the things, going back to the point I was trying to make, one of the things that Lillian Finance is doing is this. They actually have two, not one, not just one, but two centralized top tier one exchanges at that, lined up to list them. And as you can see, they have listed the possibilities here. They have listed Coinbase, Qcoin, Kraken, FTX, and they've listed another one here that is going to be to list that's going to list them coming soon. And as you know the game, guys, they can't tell you who the exchange is until the exchange announces it themselves. That's the reason why they haven't announced it. But they came out with this announcement as soon as their 501c3 became official by the IRS and they became legal that way. And their foundation was checked out and scrutinized and gone through the red tape just to make sure they're legitimate. That's when the exchanges came knocking. And you know what? The exchanges did this. The exchanges said to Lillian, they said, you know what? We know we have all of these prerequisites. We talked about the monetary requirement that they have to pony up, the liquidity requirement that they have to pony up. We talked about the number of holders that they have to demonstrate to these top tier one exchanges that, hey, they're ready to rock and roll, being listed on their crypto exchanges. These top tier one crypto exchanges have come to Lillian Finance and have said, guys, we see what you're doing. We see you out there in them crypto streets. We see you are doing good for the everyday community member. We see you are saving lives. We see you are trying to disrupt the healthcare space. And you know what? That is unique enough for us to waive a lot of those requirements. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead and list you guys. That, guys, is bringing me to this tweet here. This came out from Lillian Finance on the 12th. So this was yesterday, guys. And it says the work does not stop today, tomorrow, into the future. Our CTO, Chief Technology Officer, works tirelessly on the holders' behalf so we can all arrive together. Lillian Finance for a better tomorrow, one child surgery at a time. You can see here the exchanges. You can see here that picture of their 501c3. Now, the next thing I want to show you is this, guys, because this is the power of utility. When that 501c3 news came out, look at what Lillian did. As of the 7th of October, they were sitting at several Satoshis. Let's see what that is. Several Satoshis. The numbers are so small. Let's zoom in here, guys. Let's do that. Let's zoom in a little bit. Make it larger to read. There we go. So we look at this. They were sitting at around 10 Satoshi 61 level. When that news broke, guys, I kid you not, that price went nearly 200% up in the course of a matter of 2 days. Guys, that's giving me Saitama vibes. Saitama is an excellent project, don't get me wrong. But there are other good projects out there that are worth mentioning. And I believe Lillian Finance is one that you should be strongly looking into. You may have looked into it in the beginning, but give them another shot. Look into it now. No, not financial advice, but just check it out, guys. I'm being perfectly objective here. But as you can see, after that epic run up to almost 200% in a matter of a day and a half to 2 days, we saw some retracement. But look at this. We are now on the leg up again. And we're currently up 22% on the day and 65% still, even after the retracement down from 200% on the week. Guys, all I'm saying is this: there is room for everyone in crypto. I want you to be successful in crypto. I want you to make money. Not only that, I don't want you to be rich. I want you to be wealthy. We already talked about riches can go away. I want you to create generational wealth for you and your family, guys. And I believe that Lillian Finance is going to be a project that is going to be to be reckoned with in the future, in the near future at that, guys. I would even put this out there. I'm going to put this out there, and you can just take it the way you take it. I think Lillian Finance should be listed on Cytopro. Can you imagine bringing in folks who are really into healthcare? That's a whole entirely different space than what Saitama is targeting right now with all of the things and the utilities that they have. It will make sense and it will behoove Saitama and Lillian Finance to just squash their differences. Come together, guys. You will be a force to reckon with together as a partner. I believe that. I'm going to put that out there. I believe that Saitama would benefit from having Lillian Finance listed on Cytopro. I don't even need to state the reasons why. I think they speak for themselves. And need I say, it may be beneficial for Lillian Finance to consider participating in helping Saitama with their hyperburn. Extend that olive branch to Saitama Wolfpack family. Do that, Lillian. And for my Saitama Wolfpack family, I understand the rocky beginnings of Lillian Finance, but like I said before, all projects go through ups and downs. All developers make mistakes. So let's not scold Lillian. Let's not be too hard on Lillian. After all, we have our issues as well in the Saitama Wolfpack family that we've rose above. Let's hold hands in this crypto space and let's be great together. Thank you so much for tuning in to the crypto stream. Remember to continue to invest with a purpose so that you could create generational wealth for you and your family. We'll talk to you guys real soon.